Yeah, absolutely, Karen. So what do we ascribe this to? Is it the cock-up theory, or is it a deliberate negotiating strategy yet again, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, to improve the terms of any prospective trade deal with companies from the United States? Because quite frankly, when the president arrives here at about 11:15 this morning, he will meet a Theresa May who will no doubt be furious about the contents of that interview with the Sun newspaper here in the UK, Britain's biggest selling newspaper, and it lays out a very awkward agenda for the rest of the meeting here. He's only here for a few hours, but arguably this is one of the more important stops on his tour in the UK, because this is where some of the real business should be done. And of course there will be a press conference before he departs to head off on the next leg of his tour in the UK. So I think this has set up a very awkward backdrop for Donald Trump's so-called working meeting here at the Prime Minister's country residence. No doubt key issues for him will be trade and will be the prospect of a Brexit negotiation that ultimately leads to the kind of trade deal that US companies would like to see. Theresa May, I suspect, may have a few other issues on the agenda that she'd like to get to, but whether they can clear the air before they talk and actually focus on key issues that might lead to progress, well, I think that remains to be seen at this point. And I just think it's extraordinary that we see what almost appears to be a stab in the back from Donald Trump in that press interview, given the beautiful pictures we watched last night from Blenheim Palace, the rolling out of the red carpet by the British government, the extensive security operation, which means, quite frankly, that I'm stood in a field at least half a mile away from Chequers proper. You can probably just about see the gatehouse entrance over my shoulder, but the security has been enormous, at least £12 million, which will be paid for by the British public on behalf of the government on this this tour that Donald Trump is making here to the UK. And what has he done? He's effectively talked up the prospects of Boris Johnson for Prime Minister, therefore undermining Theresa May. He's talked down the prospects of a trade deal. He's blamed the government for not proceeding with the kind of Brexit deal which would be appropriate for the Americans. A remarkable backdrop to what should have been, I think, a fairly straightforward working meeting over the current few days that he's here in the United Kingdom. So we'll wait and see what happens when his helicopter turns up here at about 11:15. Back to you.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.